and he got a tapeworm, and the doctor's like, well, we got to get that out. And he's like, wait a minute, doctor. This is a life growing inside of me. And did the whole, like, when you're 12 inches, you're out of the house.
Yeah, was that a hit?
He was so funny.
They pulled it off.
Yeah. Oh, do we have sound close? Okay, we're live. Okay, we're back. Okay.
Yeah, baby.
Hey, okay, let's do this again. Welcome to our third day of shooting. This is our sixth show, our live show in the afternoon, and the week's just going by too fast. I just needed to slow down. I needed to stop because it's so much fun. Tonight we will be at the Hard Rock Casino. We're going to be doing it up big. We got more low baggers on the way in. We have a 6-person panel on this show right now. And we got to start with our guy, Big Ragoo, joining the panel. Hook me up with this dope Florida State hat. Big Ragoo in the house, man.
Good to be here, Jimmy. Thanks for having me and the rest of the gang today.
Oh, man, what a treat it is to have Ragoo rolling with us. And right beside me, Parlay Papi live and in person. Parlay Papi, what up?
We're here. It's time. The chat is live. We can talk about the toupee. I know you guys got many questions. I'm here to answer every single one of them. What's poppin'?
There's Parlay Papi in the house. Okay, we got a couple things. One, we've got a pinned tweet right now on SBR Sports Picks, and that's where we will be giving out an NFL Game Pass. Every single NFL game you will have on your TV. All you have to do is click on that tweet and answer what you like about our best sports page book. Our best sports page there where we break down the A and A+ sports books. And we gave out a full pass to Ghost Clown Picks. Ghost Clown Picks got hooked up with NFL Day Pass. We're doing that again. Also, we're giving out an SBR Pro membership here to the most valuable audience member. And speaking of valuable audience members, we got some new low baggers joining us right now. We got Milovan in the house. We got Sergio in the house. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for joining us. Milovan showed me his tennis bets, and these are big boy bets, man. This guy doesn't fool around, man. Big boy bets. Sergio, been down here for 15 years, out of NYC, out of New York City, like our guy Dom Ricci. Big Jets fan over there, big Jets fan. And I haven't told him that we have the under on Le'Veon Bell rush yards. And I don't think I'm going to tell him at this point. We got Whale Capper in the house joining us, Dom Ricci and Prince of the City. Thank you guys so much for watching. And right beside me, off a 36-hour drive straight from Toronto to Miami. Wow. Oh, my God, Al Mack in the house. Al, how are you? Tell us, give us. I want to hear more about it as we get rolling. But man, 36 hours straight.
I've never seen as many Arby's in my life as I have in this drive.
That's the first note. That's the first thing. It's Arby's.
Thing that I noticed.
What?
A lot more Arby's exponentially compared to Canada.
All right. Okay. Well, we'll start there. We'll start with tons of Arby's. DJ Big Boss in the house. DJ, how you doing?
What's up? Right back at it. You know how we do it right here in Miami. Back to back to back to back to back. We bringing it right now.
Beautiful. And then Donnie RightSide giving us the goods, Donnie.
It's good. I mean, you got one side, you got a boss, you got sauce on the other side. I mean, this is living right here. This makes me and Jimmy's job so much easier. We can sit back, lay back in the cut, and there's a lot of knowledge on this panel. I'm looking forward to it. Let's have some fun tonight.
Well, talking about the panel, and talking about on the early show, Whale Capper gives out the White Sox take care of business easily. Giolito throws a gem. Odorizzi gets touched 3 runs in the first, 2 innings?
Giolito, I'm pretty sure he threw a complete game. Wow.
He's trying to act like he doesn't know.
He actually just found that out right now. Yeah. Whale Cap.
He was so confident.
Whale Cap.
What a gentleman.
I want to be saying right now that I got rich off of the Rockies, but Gray broke his foot. Gray didn't start, and that great call by our big boss at Ital that doesn't count for me as a
Counted anyway.
Swing and a miss.
On vacation.
Swing and a miss. It happens
doesn't count for me as a winner. All right, so what we need, we're going to start breaking down all these games, and I can't wait to hear everybody's plays of the day and things of that nature. What we need for you is to join the 50K Pick 6 contest. We have 2 links at the bottom of our YouTube page. One is for the best sports book. page, and one is for the 50K Pick 6 contest. And that's how you guys can help us and support us. That's what we need. And also, we're about to give out an NFL Game Pass and SBR Pro membership. All right, there's Tease in the house. Let's give a shout out to all these cappers in the chat. You guys make this show so special. Jeff Murillo, Spencer Hicks, Darnell Wilson, Red Girl, BS Wits 32 says there's a thing called audio video training and testing. That's what he's saying. Thank you. Thank you for the comment there. Not applicable. Ben Diaz, Guru Sportsbet, Larry Savage, Noli Knows, Viper NB, Walla Wallet, Dose Ron Lofton, Drinking Hand, not applicable. Russell Gordy, Nut Flush Allen from the plane. Nut Flush Allen is in the air right now watching this show. What a guy, man.
Is that even allowed?
You know he's not flying on Spirit Airlines.
Larry Savage, Lillian Pumpernickel, Polo this, Polo that, Matt Mad in the house. Much love to you, Matt Mad. What a great, great group. All right, well, let's get it started with our very own Big Ragoo. Big Ragoo, what is the first game on your card that you liking right now? Where you find an edge on this late card?
I'm looking at a team that's rolling pretty hard right now. They cost me a lot of money during the course of the year. They owe me some money, so I'm getting some back right now. I'm trying to roll with the St. Louis Cardinals. Right now they're coming off I think it's like 7 games, if I'm not mistaken. They're going up today. Wainwright's on the mound. He's kind of a shaky guy, but he's putting his act together. I'm going to look at taking St. Louis on the run line today.
St. Louis on the run line, and they've been feeding us right now, but that giant market move towards the Brewers. We have like a 35 to 37 cent market move towards the Brewers, and we have 2 pitchers. One, we talked about Hauser having incredible numbers as a reliever, bad numbers as a starter. I think that's going to come back to the mean. But Wainwright, unbelievable numbers at home, terrible numbers on the road in this spot. Cardinals, Parlay Papi, what do you think of our Big Ragoo's call on the Cardinals with this market move going against them?
You know what, I still would be on it on the first 5. I mean, Wainwright for years, right? This guy is a stud at home. I mean, look alone at home right now. 6-2, 2.19 ERA and 11 starts. I mean, go back a couple years. This is not an anomaly. This guy is continuously winning at home. The thing is right now that we know St. Louis is struggling on the bats per usual, but you know what? We got on the other side another team struggling on the bat, and that's the Brewers, this team that was making everyone so much buck in May and June. And right now, what are they doing? They're not doing shit. They got a worse bullpen, in my opinion, a worse starting pitcher. I mean, look, Hauser 3 of 4 against some tough hitting teams, but I really don't think this guy is that great. I mean, he wasn't good coming out of the bullpen. Lots of troubles versus lefties, career-wide. But, I mean, St. Louis, they really don't have too many lefties that are going to be able to get off him. I do think the fact that Hauser, I mean, he did see these Cardinals in April, went 9 hits, 5 earned run, and 4 inning pitched. I think we have an advantage with Wainwright on the mound, hopefully to do some damage with St. Louis against Hauser. So I think I'm going to agree with Big Ragoo here on a different side. I'm going to go first 5 St. Louis on the money line over here.
First 5 St. Louis on the money line coming from Papi. Full game St. Louis coming from Big Ragoo. Donnie RightSide, huge market move towards the Brewers. Hauser coming off of a nice start. Brewers, Cardinals.
Yeah, if we're looking at, Jimmy, football terms in this one for this game, it's a must-win for Milwaukee. That doesn't mean that Milwaukee's going to come out and win. The one thing that you've seen lately, and it's almost we haven't seen it probably in a couple years when we're talking about avoiding guys that are really hot at the plate, and that would be Christian Yelich. If you just walk in, get around them. You saw it the last 2 nights. They got shut out the night before. They were already out of the game last night by the time they got 4 runs anyway, got pasted. It looks like they're slipping back, I think, 4 games back in the wild card now. And when you look at Wainwright, and again, the key thing that both these guys already said, Wainwright's a really good pitcher at home, and that means something. He's pitched there a long time. He's used to the mound. I just can't trust Milwaukee. It's one of those situations where you look at it and say, market move minus 105 each way. Who do you trust more in this game? Hauser on the mound versus a team that St. Louis has plays much better at home. Milwaukee struggling almost out of it. The one thing I actually do agree with in one of the market moves, if we look at the total, opens up at 9, goes to 8.5. I can actually see this game staying under. Last night the game went over. The game before that 3-0 stayed under. This game to me has more of an under type tone. I'll lean towards that direction, but look, if I'm going to get St. Louis at a minus 105 at home, why not?
Brooke Jordan on the full game under. Russell Gordy liking the under, and Lance LaRose on the other side to the over. Al Mack in the house. What do you think of these guys back in the Cardinals or moving towards the under?
No, I like that run line initially, and I know that Wainwright, 13-10 plus 1.76 units in games that he started. If you've been backing them, it's nothing special, but it's at least something. I know that the Cardinals have been profitable in the run line as well. So yeah, I would back the Cardinals. I would back the Cardinals for sure here.
They've beaten the Brewers 6 straight. Beaten the Brewers 6 straight times. DJ Big Boss, what do you think of the Cardinals here?
I'm liking the Cardinals, another team that's been hot for this month. I'm not going to play it, but I would lean Cardinals absolutely in this one.
Man, Nasty Nate says, I will PayPal anyone on the panel 3 units to grab Poppy's wig and run around the room. So we'll see. We'll see if anybody takes him up on
Come on down to Miami.
Nasty Nate, look, I will buy you a plane ticket personally to come down and do this. Please, Nasty Nate, my guy, my man, we're inviting you to Miami. You can be on the panel. You can talk about your angle, and you can also take this beautifully horse hair, tail, condition, glued onto my head. You can try to take it off, my dude. We'll see what happens. You're invited, though. I got your plane ticket. We're live.
The challenge is set. The challenge is set. I'm not going to go up against this market move. I'm not going to go up against this market move, but I get it.
Just to note, the Cardinals are they're hitting 54% on the run line, which includes the plus 1.5. But if you play them every single game, 67 and 57 on the run line plus 4.36 units, which is, I mean, if you're giving money back, that's okay at that point, really. I like the run line here. I'll probably actually bet that, to be honest.
Well, Viper MB says Jimmy grow a pair. Market moves are for wimps. That's getting that from our guy Viper MB, and Flipper wanting someone to grab it bad. Someone grab it, he's screaming. Someone grab it. There we go. That's the first spot. Big Ragoo leading us into that spot on the card with the St. Louis Cardinals. Parlay Papi, what's a spot on this card that you're looking at?
You know what? Let's get into something a little bit more grimy. Sure. You know, we're not talking about horsehair. We're talking about grimy games. We're talking about the Kansas City Royals, the Baltimore Orioles, the trash of our MLB. What are we doing with these teams? Why are we betting them? Because Mike Montgomery is on the mound. Look, I mean, when we see Mike Montgomery coming out of the bullpen in the Cubs, and we have a Cubs ticket this year, you just might as well burn that, throw it in the trash, and go run around the house and yell your lungs off because you know you're going to lose that bet. At the same time, he was coming off some type of issue. I'm not sure mechanical, a little bit physical, but at the same time, we got to remember that Mike Montgomery, 2016 to 2018, 3 ERA on the road as a starter, a whip around that 1.15 mark. This guy is a stud pitcher. He's on a starting rotation because he's a good pitcher. I don't give a shit that he sucked in the coming out of the bullpen for the Cubs. The guy's a stud. On the other end, I got Aaron Brooks, MLB ERA at 7.16, 138 innings. This is 5 years of bouncing back and forth between the minors and majors. The only reason this guy is here is Baltimore ain't got nobody else. I mean, KC, can we say they're a reliable hitting team? Absolutely not. But at the same time, if I can find value here, if Mike Montgomery, who in my opinion is a buy-on pitcher with the Royals versus the Baltimore Orioles, can't believe I'm giving this out of the play, but buyer beware. We're going Kansas City, first 5 on that money line, my guys.
You know, I want to jump on it immediately, to be honest with you. And the market move had scared me in the morning. We know that our very own Nutflush Allen is family friends with the Brooks family and knows Aaron. And to show a sign of friendship, he bets run will be scored in the first inning of all of his starts. And he cashes it. And he cashes it. And he cashes it. He cashes it on each one.
Get some hits.
Yeah, man. Brooks, 0-4, 9.22 ERA and 7 starts with Baltimore. Why not just focus on the first 5? That makes sense to me. Donnie RightSide, does that make sense to you?
What's interesting about that, brings up a good point, because when you get on the road, you would think that lefty-lefty split, Jimmy, doesn't work out too well, but it actually works in Montgomery's favor. And then we take a look at that Baltimore lineup. What are they lining out all the way tonight? 8 right-handed batters, 1 left-handed batter, and the only left-handed batter is DJ Stewart. If we take a look at his ISO, is at a 0 for the season and weighted on base average of 220 versus left-handed pitching. I mean, nice little find there, Poppy, huh? All right.
With those bullpens, right?
Hey,
Right, but I mean, we're talking about a minus 125 at the best, a minus 135 at the worst. Would you take it minus a half?
I think that it's very, very likely that Kansas City will be ahead, and that's probably the better look if we're getting, I would believe, plus 105 on that -0.5.
Not quite. We're getting plus 100, plus 103 at BetOnline.
Plus 103 to minus 125. I mean, you're picking hairs at 17 cents, right? So I think that they're going to be ahead over here. I think that first 5, you want to take that run line. I'm going to keep it a little conservative, and we're going to just do the KC money line on the first 5.
Yeah. First 5, KC money line. Ragoo, I like this spot. What do you think?
What's the first 5 total, or team total for Kansas City in this game?
I'll pull it up right now.
Right.
Canadian Capper says Mikes are bad guys.
Yes, they are bad guys.
Capper, we're working on Canadian Capper. We're getting it going. I'm going to pull up the first 5 team total over. Does that appeal to you more than back in the Royals, Ragoo?
Just basically, I mean, looking at the full game, it's kind of a cheap price. I mean, the guy's got 11.4 ERA versus 1. Montgomery's right at a flat 1. His last 3 starts 2-1 on the win-loss column. So, I mean, it's definitely a solid look in this time of the year when you got late in August, you start bringing these pitchers back up from the bottom for these bottom-tier teams. You know, they're very hittable. Like I say, KC's not lighting the world on fire with their bats, but it's definitely a solid look here for the price. I don't trust the bullpen, so I'm more interested in the first 5 and maybe a team total over on Kansas City. I haven't looked at the number on it, but I would definitely lean that if it's not too juiced too high.
Kansas City Royals full game team totals 5.5 at plus 105.
5.5
so pretty
plus,
high.
yeah.
And the first half team total for the Royals is 2.5, but it's minus 141.
You know, Ragoo, I would interject here to say, in the last week, if we look at that metric of how the Royals are hitting offensively, the last week, we got a .177 batting average with a .496 OPS.
Wow.
They're not doing shit.
Yeah.
But Aaron Brooks.
Stay away.
Hitter's ballpark.
Maybe they wake up tonight and get that average back up to maybe 3.5 runs after this game.
Let's get that.
Royals first 5 minus a half at plus 103 is my first edition on this late card.
Yeah.
Almac, what do you think?
No disrespect, but I don't really believe in Montgomery. He's 2-4 in his 6 starts, minus 1.19, and in Brooks 13 starts, he's plus 1.24 units. But what I'm looking at, and it's kind of odd, but the Orioles are, I think, the 7th best team in the league on the over, 65, 56, and 3, plus 3.76 units on the over. But then the Royals are 63, 56, and 5 to the under. I like the over here though. As I'm looking at it, I just think that late in this game, there's probably gonna be a ton of runs. That's just my look. I don't really have a solid read on it, but I think there'll be runs in this. I see like the 10 minus 136 ish from where I'm seeing it. I would take a shot at that.
It's nice weather in Baltimore, 87 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 6 miles per hour, 2 straight away center. Big Boss, what do you think of this Royals-Orioles spot? I've jumped on Royals first 5 minus a half at plus 103.
Well, when 2 bums meet in the middle of the street, Jimmy, I usually go for the hometown bum.
Oh, no.
So I'm definitely
no.
going to hop on with Baltimore right here.
Oh, no.
KC is awful on the road. They don't got no right-hand punch, no uppercut, no nothing. And, Baltimore's going to be out there swinging haymakers at home. So, when it's bum fights, I'm going to take Baltimore in this one.
O'Malley Mouse says, no, DJ, don't do it, son. He wants the bum that knows the corner better is what he wants. There's Sports Gag in the house, says Big Boss is a national treasure. Parlay Papi says, bum fight, Ski Profit in the house. His flight is at 8. Ski Profit in the house. Excited to see Ragoo and Papi and Al Mac here on the show. And Nutflush Allen said, just told the pilot that I need him to keep this plane at a level so I don't lose service to one of the most amazing panels put together in sports betting. Much love to you, Nutflush Allen. We can't wait to pick you up at 9 o'clock. Bum fights. Bum fights is funny.
Remember bum fights?
Of course.
Yes,
Of
of
course.
course.
A
Yep.
young boy
That was
in
gold.
elementary school.
Bum fights, of course. Guru Sports Bets is on the Nationals -1 as his play of the day. He's going for 6 straight plays of the day, and I'm on the Nationals -1 as well. I don't want to spend too much time on it because we hammered it pretty hard, but my thinking was twofold. One, Patrick Corbin, a lefty. Pirates are 244, 670 OPS versus lefties, and then Archer pitched 1 inning in the last game, so the Pirates bullpen looked great yesterday. Can they look great again today? I don't know, but those are two angles that I think give value to the Nationals on the -1 line. I got the money line at -144 and the run line at plus 110. If I wanted the Nationals money line right now, it's that's first 5. Sorry, let me go to sportsbookreview.com SBR odds page. Wow, damn. It's minus 133 at 5 times, minus 136 at Pinnacle. Money coming in on Musgrove and the Pirates because Musgrove has looked good lately. That market move does concern me. Donnie, RightSide, should it concern me?
I don't think it's going to concern you tonight because when you look at that Pittsburgh lineup, you saw last night the one weakness that we're going to have with Washington, of course, is going to be the bullpen, and that's it showed its ugly head yesterday. No Doolittle, and again, Wandy Suero comes in, continues to just hemorrhage runs. But the one thing you do have to like here is if Corbin's going to go against Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh's lined up from the right-hand side. Corbin handles those fairly well. I could see one of those games he goes almost a carbon copy of last night, maybe a run or two extra for the Washington Nationals. But if you're asking me to back Pittsburgh against a good elite pitcher, I just can't do it, especially in a pitcher's ballpark there. I don't see any, like you. I know you're worried about the line move or even maybe the tickets offshore that are coming in on Washington. I can't put my money on Pittsburgh. Simple as that.
Guru says not a chance. Nats offense will bust out again. Big Ragoo, what do you think of this spot?
I'm looking towards the over in this game because both teams, I think at home, Pittsburgh seems like they score a few more runs. Their bats go hot and cold. The last 3 out, they've been averaging, I think, like 7.3 versus the righties. And then Corbin on the road has been giving up about 4.35 runs on average. So I'm leaning towards the over. And then the bullpens, like you say, with Washington can't be trusted. So I'm gonna throw the over there, over the 9.5, 10 runs.
We're on the over from Big Ragoo. What do you think, Papi?
Well, I mean, look, it's advantage Corbin, right? Left-handed pitcher versus this Pirates team who's very much struggled versus left-handed pitching this season. But at the same time, 826 OPS from Corbin to these Pirates, 50 at-bats, 7 RBIs, and 31 at-bats. I mean, that's basically a game and a half. So we can see that Corbin may be touched, and at the same time, we know that Corbin's numbers are a bit shakier on the road. And, I mean, Musgrove, cool, he had a couple good innings. He's due for one of these epic, famous Pittsburgh Pirate meltdown pitching performances where we get maybe 5 or 6 runs in an inning and nobody really knows what happens. But I completely agree with the oversight. I don't necessarily know if it's going to make my card, but I definitely like the look you guys are on right here.
I like it too. It's a 5:54 Eastern time, which means you have 21 more minutes to be eligible for the NFL Game Pass. You have 21 more minutes to get on that tweet and reply. That's the cutoff. It's 5:55 now, so only 20 more minutes. But so in 20 minutes, and we're going to use the random generator to give out an NFL Game Pass. Hit that tweet. Tell us what you think of our best sportsbook page, and you will be eligible. You will be eligible. Not applicable says these guys talk to the mic like a girl afraid to give head. That's what you think. Okay, not applicable. We're working on it.
That's what they said.
We're working on it. We're working on it. Not applicable. Whispering. Get your mouth closer to it. That's what he's whispering. Al Mac.
A little kinky there.
Al Mac.
Just have to put our face directly towards it.
Al Mac. Nationals. What do you think?
Interesting is Corbin and Musgrove have the exact same record, like unit count. 25 games plus 0.45 units if you bet on them blindly every game. What I like here is actually the Nationals. I think they're the 4th best team in the league on the run line. They've won 54 games by 2 runs or more. They've only lost 38 games by 2 runs or more. 70 and 55 to the run line plus 6.94 units. That's something that that's just my thing. I'm gonna bet the Nationals on the run line.
Yeah, I like it. What do you think, Big Boss?
Super 6 right here. I'm going with the Nationals as well. I'll make that my second play of the day for this show right here. Just like everybody say right here, Pittsburgh can't really hit lefties like that. They're 11-21 versus lefties. Corbin's coming. He's 9-5, OBP at .290 with an ERA of 3.34. It's excellent. I'm a situational guy. One of the things we had a talk with Dave LA when we was in Low Bag LA, and we talked about in baseball around this time, August and also September, you gotta smash the bad teams and you gotta follow the good teams to the T. And here, Washington, they took a step back yesterday. Pittsburgh got the win. They had a big win the day before that. They're coming back with the bats. I'd like to take them on the run line as well. I like the -1 line, but what you're giving up to take them on the money line is not that bad. It's an extra pick of the day. I'm liking it all the way. I'm just gonna take it on the money line one time. It's a high price, 140 in some places or something like that. I think I seen Bovada. The difference between Bovada and Bookmaker was like 10 cents. So Bovada's heavily pushing the Nats to win as well. I don't see it as a setup. I see it as a smart play right there. So I'm taking that as my play for the late show.
I like hearing that, man. I like hearing that. And Canadian Capper saying, hey, not applicable. None of these guys are afraid to give head to stick up for us. So he's Canadian Capper has our backs, as always.
What's interesting is what you said is this year also the trade deadline, the no waiver thing is not a thing anymore.
Right.
So the Dogs are going to be live in September, especially because of the extended rosters, right? The AAA guys all get to come up. Dogs will be live this year in baseball. It's a thing that hasn't happened yet because of the trade deadline. I mean, it's not. It's like 4 or 5 different guys that are moving, but you extend with the extended rosters. I think this year, especially, Dogs will be live from September on.
I like that, Luke.
Here we go over to the Angels Rangers spot. This was a market move that really concerned me, and it's not the market move. It's just when we look at this spot. Let's see if we can get the lineups right now, and we can look at this Texas lineup without Mazzara and Gallo in it, and it's bad. Chu, Santana, Andrews, Pence, Calhoun, Solak, Forsythe, DeShields Jr. And if we think that Mike Minor can shut down this Angels lineup, Fletcher, Trout, Upton, Calhoun, Pools, Goodwin, Rengifo, Tovar, Stassi. If we think that's what's going to happen, then what we should do is take this under 10.5. I know it opened at 11, but it was juiced to minus 120, so you could expect it to go down to 10.5. But if we think that Minor is going to shut down the Angels and that Texas offense is so soft, why shouldn't I jump on the under 10.5 here?
Honestly, I think that it's a little concerning being the fact that Sandoval, he was a really good prospect, 2018 minor league season, compiling 11-win, 1-loss record, right? But got smashed 2019, 4-7 whip of 1.74, 51 earned runs in 80 innings is not going to cut it in the big show. Sandoval last 2 games, 8 innings, 11 earned runs. His only good start was against Cincinnati, who we all know is very, very sporadic on the offense. So if we know that we got a couple key bats out on Texas, the Angels also sporadic on offense. I mean, I trust their bats a lot more. At the same time, Minor has shut them down pretty much. Past 2 years, 3-0, 2.08 ERA against them. But at the same time, I'm very hesitant on the Sandoval thing. So the fact that I see so much money moving towards the Angels, maybe I can get a team total under on that first half of Minor dealing these Angels at 2.5. I don't know if that's available right now, but that's probably the look that I would have on this game without our key bats here on Texas.
Or what about first 5? They're saying in the chat, first 5 under 6 with Sandoval, Minor. From Sandoval being a high prospect, do you have faith in him moving forward for the last month or 6 weeks of the year?
I don't. It's just recent performances in 20. This year in the amateur, in the minor league, he's been terrible. In the big show, he's been terrible. Against a big league team, it seems like he's going to be terrible. So I got no hope in Sandoval, but at the same thing, I have not watched the kid pitch. I do not know the type of stuff that he has. I'm just basing this purely off the metrics and stuff like that. But at the same time, I think an Angels look would be a lot better. I'm scared of Sandoval, and Minor can definitely shut these guys down, in my opinion here.
Donnie, right side, what do you think of this spot, Angels, Rangers?
It's funny, when you talk about Texas and you go down to that hot weather, Jimmy, the ball usually flies out of here. But when you're talking about taking it over, that's going to be at least double digits. I want some full lineups out there that I can trust. When you just look, and sometimes you look at the National League, the automatic outs that you get, we usually have like the pitcher, but you're going to have, 6-hole for Texas. Solak, 7, Forsythe, DeShields, and Mathis. And then you take a look over at the Los Angeles Angels, Rengifo, Tovar, and Stassi. I mean, you're talking about automatic outs in a lineup where you have to get double digits. I think these pitchers will stack up decently, and it's hard. I agree with the line move that's going down. 11.5, it opened up offshore at some outlets, now down to 10.5. I agree with the line move. If you're going to give me some sure outs at the bottom of the lineup that I don't think are going to produce against 2 pitchers, I think they can have some okay nights. Give me the under in this one.
Yeah, I'm thinking of why do you prefer full game over first 5?
It's no real preference on that. I'm just looking as a whole game, just trying to match it up, saying, what do you have to cash this ticket? 6-5. I just don't see it getting there. I could see one of those games where a 5-2, 5-3 type angle, but they could catch up. I don't disagree with the first 5. I just feel a little bit more comfortable saying, you know what? You get me 11 to lose, I'll take the under.
Ragoo, what do you think of this spot, Sandoval Minor?
Yeah, I like Donnie's look on the 11 because number one, it is hot, like you say. Normally the ball flies out of there, but there's there's a 10-mile-an-hour wind blowing inwards, and with the look of Minor and Sandoval, I think they should be able to hold the runs down. I do like the comfort of the 11 versus the first 5. It might be, if they are vulnerable early in the game, who knows? Maybe they get a little short relief help, but at the same time, I'm going to lean towards the under on that one. But it's going to be a no play for me either way.
Wow, as we speak, Pinnacle just moved to 6.5 from 6. Just moved it to 6.5. Almac, what do you think of this spot?
I like Minor, to be honest. He's had 25 games plus 2.28 units, a very low ERA. Bad personality, right?
Well, I was annoyed. I was annoyed by his whole trade deadline bullshit. The whole why me is so tough on my family when we want to trade lives with him immediately. And that's how tough it is on his family. You know what? You're getting paid millions. It annoyed me. It fucking annoyed me when in the dark without my shirt on, drunk, capping sports. I'm like, you know what? Fuck you. Fuck you whiny bitch.
It's funny, though. Listen, Texas is the most profitable team to back at home in the major leagues this year. 13.3 units you've made if you bet on them every game at home. And I know I don't like Minor either, but listen, it's either Texas or pass for me. Yeah. Even at a crappy number.
Q Wilson says buy a new family. See, Q knows.
Yeah.
Q gets it. Big Boss, what do you think here?
In the words of our own Dom Ricci, the under. I like the under.
I like the under too. Keith Sadler joining us right now. Kuru saying Minor versus Angels 4-0, 1.90 ERA. Watching that go from 6 to 6.5 does concern me, seeing that move right now. So I'm not sure if I'm going to pull the trigger at this point. I'm not sure if I'm going to pull the trigger. Let's just keep going down the line. You have 11 more minutes to be eligible for the NFL Game Pass. 11 more minutes to be eligible for the NFL Game Pass right now. Let's talk about a game that we had Dom Ricci break down, the Indians-Mets. And, man, Dom Ricci played yesterday's Mets game like a fiddle. Did the first 5 under and the full game over. A brilliant, brilliant breakdown. And in this game, Dom gave it to us on the play of the day chair over there, which we'll be going to soon. Dom has the Indians on the plus line, and he has the over 9. Those are Dom's 2 spots here. Let's look at what the market has done to his 2 spots here. Here we go, sportsbookreview.com, the odds page. And here we are. The Stroman, it's still same sort of deal. There hasn't been much movement there. From the opening line, just 4-cent movement. And there hasn't been much movement on this total. It's just gone down 1 cent. So it's open at over 9 minus 120. Now it's over 9 and minus 119. Donnie, RightSide, I'm very curious to hear what you have to say about our Dom Ricci's spot here, back in wearing the Mets jersey, betting against them, which is a true capper and a guy who wants to make money and not friends. Exactly. Indians, Mets, what do you think, Don?
Yeah, you know what's interesting about this? You took it yesterday and you looked at those lines and you say, I think the better team overall is the Indians and they should win the game. But when you really looked at the numbers, Mats is a pretty good pitcher at home. Numbers held true last night. They banged them away. Now, taking a look tonight, you say, you know what? We got the Mets. They're hard charging. Both of these teams really fighting, Jimmy, towards the playoffs. But the one thing you do have to look at, Pluko does struggle a little bit on the road. But the one thing I'm not really too impressed with is overall, lately, Marcus Stroman. When you just get that name, Stroman's on the mound because you have that big 5 pitching staff that you have going on. If we take a look at him in June, a 285 weighted on base average. In July, 240, sensational. But how about in the month of August, 15 2/3 innings, a 381 weighted on base average, and a 313 batting average overall. Struggling a little bit here. I think this is a decent bounce back point here, but I actually agree a little bit more with the over than an actual side in this one.
Interesting. Papi, what do you think of this spot?
Donnie, I actually completely agree with all the points too. 5.17 ERA in that 15 2/3 with the Mets. The thing is, we know Plutko is pretty unreliable on the road. Weak 4-seamer, whatever secondary pitching. Thing is, he gets in trouble on the road versus lefties. Who do they have on the lefties? We got Panic. What is Panic doing? Conforto is a beast, but that's basically it. And those are the real guys who get to Plutko. I understand the over, but honestly, I really do think I'm about to pull the trigger on the Indians. I think that Stroman's been a pretty tough cap, not a big strikeout pitcher, but gets it done with a sinker and cutter. I think he's pretty vulnerable right now, so I would definitely lean the side with the Indians over here.
I think so. We have a new low bagger making an appearance right now. What up, man? How are you?
Put the shine on him.
Yeah, man. So great to see you. So great to see you. We're growing. You got to play the day for us today, possibly? We got to play the day chair over there. Okay. Well, let's be very
Genius, maybe.
maybe. So dope, man. So dope. We're growing. CT Base says Mets being dominant at home. Big Ragoo, what do you think of Dom's spot and how you handling this?
I think Dom nailed it earlier in the day. I think Stroman, the looks that they've had at him in the past, him coming to New York, familiarity with him. I would lean towards the over a little bit, but I like the side better on the Indians. So I'm going to roll with the Tribe here to get the job done, and I'm going to do it in the first 5 also.
Wow. Ooh. What do you guys think of this spot?
When Don Ricci and Big Ragoo and Donnie RightSide.
Oh, goodness.
Come on, man.
Goodness.
You know what?
Ain't no going the other way against that team right there.
I think the counterpoint here would be Stroman has done really well against the Indians, right? 656 OPS and 109 at bats. Who has the better bullpen right now? We know the Cleveland Indians do. Who's got a very, very, very skeptical at best bullpen? That's the Mets. Who's been making money fading Mets bullpens for the first 3 months of the season? We all have. At the same time, they have improved a little bit, but do we really rely on these guys here? I think Cleveland, it's kind of a wash with the offense, but man, I think that the Cleveland Indians clearly have a large advantage in the bullpen department here. So I definitely am I think I'm going to make a bet here with the Indians.
Yeah,
and not take this over.
Stroman has played twice as many games as Plutko, and he's actually lost 6 times more units than Plutko. Plutko in 12 games, 4.25 units if you bet him blindly, and he has a higher ERA, which is a classic spot because everybody's going to back Stroman when they just look at it by the models. Do you know why Stroman has such good numbers against the Cleveland Indians? Because he used to be a Toronto Blue Jay. That's the reason why. Besides that, fading Stroman on the Mets right now is magic. It will turn around. Take the Indians. That price it's unbeatable. Take the Indians. 100% for me.
Wow. Well, I'm right now. I'm gonna have to make some decisions. The first thing I will do is I will take the over 9. I'll jump on the over 9 with the guys. I'm getting it at -115. That's available at a few different books. So I'm gonna. It's tough for me to trust Plutko. But when you hear Dom on it, Atlas Party's on the Indians team total over 4, and that was a look that was given out too by our very own Whale Capper in the morning show. Yeah. And Gin Rummy saying dangerous card with current prices, not much value left. Be careful and good luck. I love Gin Rummy. It just feels like it's our father comes in and just says you can do this, but be cautious. I love Gin Rummy so much.
How do you deny a guy with a name like Plutko?
Easy. Yeah. fucking easy.
What the fuck is a Plutko?
Easy. Okay, I jumped on the Red Sox on the -1 line. I just think that Drew Smyly's magic that he had for the first couple of starts when he came over to Philadelphia is gone. And although I like him as a player, I don't. This is a very tough park to pitch in. You got 10 miles per hour out to left center. There's going to be light rain. All that said, Cuban Connect. I got Cuban Connect on LAFC money line tonight. Back in LAFC money line tonight. But I think that Porcello's possible of having good starts at home. And I know, it was the Orioles he saw last start, and they're the Orioles, but. He looked good, 1 run over 6 innings, 4.32 ERA in 4 career starts against the Phillies. Smiley's allowed 16 runs, 14 earned in 15 2/3 August innings. Smiley has nice numbers for Boston, but he hasn't faced him since 2016, and that was when he was coming up and becoming somewhat of an elite pitcher. I don't want anything to do with Smiley. I think he gets touched here, and in fact, that maybe Red Sox first 5. Maybe I should double up now at this point. I'll take a look at the market move. Donnie, what do you think about this spot?
I'm right with you, Jimmy. Honestly, I'm right with you. I made more money going against the Phillies just knowing what they have when you're going to run Smiley out there. Pumpkins, as I like to say, Jimmy, always turn back into pumpkins. You had that July magic with 2 starts. Like, oh my goodness, he's really reinvigorated. He found something. I know he did. In August, 15 2/3 innings, a 4.12 weighted on base average and 2.81 average. He's going to go on the road, and you already hit the nail on the head. Warm in Boston, muggy, wind blowing out. He's a pitcher that says, you know what? If I'm not getting that strike call in the outside corner with that sloppy curveball, he's going to get rocked. I agree with you completely. I love Boston first 5 tonight run line. I think it's pretty. I got it earlier today, minus a half run, minus 130. So the juice isn't too bad on that. You're right, Porcello much better at home than he is on the road. But just looking at it, and the same thing with yesterday with the Phillies. Are the Phillies more likely to score 3 runs or 6 runs in a game? You saw it yesterday. Oh my goodness, they got 3 in the first inning. Didn't get any the rest of the game. More of that tonight. Give me Boston.
I'm doubling up now. Bookmaker and Bet Online both hanging minus 120s right now on the minus a half, minus 120. I'm doubling up here, Ragoo. What do you think of this spot?
I like the over in this game both ways. Both pitchers. I mean, Porcello's got his struggles, and the way he's been playing of late at home, and the bullpen, they're giving up runs, they're scoring runs, so it's a dead over in my book.
Yeah, that's what I think. Papi, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, not too many feels on it. We just kind of dissected Smiley. Career fly ball pitcher, 0.64 ground out to air out ratio. Since that Tommy John surgery, I'm sorry, the guy's looking like a shell of himself. And Fenway, very dangerous. I mean, I don't think there's any other way to look at it for me personally, but this is a big pass for me.
Russell Gordy says Torcello gets no money for me, and I can understand that idea. Big Boss, what do you think of this spot?
I'm off the spot right here. Not much you can say. Porcello is nice, 11-9, 5.50 ERA. Not much there.
If the building fell down in this game, I would not be upset, to be honest. It's a hard pass for me.
Hard pass there?
Although, who's the one that said LAFC? LAFC is golden tonight. They have won 71% of the games that they've played, 8.22 units. If you bet $100 on them every game that they played this year, that you've made $30, win or lose. Whoever said LAFC,
it's our guy Cuban Connect.
I'm with you. Great look. I've been in a car. I forgot that LAFC was playing today. This is the kind of stuff that I ride blindly. LAFC, big time.
Yeah, and Cuban Connect, both you guys on it. Sounds appealing. So I've doubled up now on the Red Sox. So we're going to spend about 15 or 16 more minutes breaking this down, and then we're going to open it up. We're going to open it up to the play of the day chair, and maybe from Big Guy Bubba, right? Maybe. Keep us waiting. Big Guy Bubba in the house, man. Low baggers growing. I love it. Okay, let's move on. So that's the second or the third play, that I've added now on this card, that first 5 minus a half. Let's go to Big Boss's spot that he loved. It was the Braves on the run line minus 1.5. Do you want to give us a quick recap? Because we did this pretty hard on the early show, so we don't need to.
I don't got my notes still right here, but basically, when it comes down to it, it's right back at it for Atlanta. I'm looking at it from this perspective that Atlanta chose that they were going to put up a fight against Dodgers because they know they have to see Dodgers in the playoffs. And they succeeded with that one. They went 2-1, beat them in the series, and now they get to see this fluffy Miami team at home. Why not run the score up on them today?
Yeah, I get it. I don't know what to make of Caleb Smith. I find he's kind of a tricky guy to cap right now. 131 Ks and 111 2/3. So you know that he can get the out when he wants to. And Tehran just shit the bed for me last start. Donnie RightSide, Marlins Braves.
Yeah, interesting one. You know, they left me a little bit short last night on the team total over 5.5, only scraping 5 runs, going 2 of 12 last night with runners in scoring position. But it's tough. Jimmy, when you just take a look at the Marlins lineup and you look at the numbers 1 through 8, and you try to rational say, can they get to 5 or 6 runs to maybe hang with the Atlanta team? Caleb Smith's a really good pitcher. He's going to do fine tonight. But when you just get left hanging by that offense, it's just not worth it. I don't know. Maybe taking a shot on the Marlins just because it's plus money, but I can't go against the Atlanta Braves at this point versus the Marlins.
Yeah, and when you guys were getting on the Nationals, and a lot of cappers I really respected jumping on the Nationals, I stayed away just because I have a ton of respect for this Brave squad. Even with their bullpen in shambles, I still think they're such a dangerous baseball team. Big Ragoo, what do you think in this spot?
I like the Braves, but I don't trust Tehran, so it's a no play for me. I mean, his last 3 starts, he's given up almost 7 runs a game. And Caleb Smith, he started out the year pretty well. I know the Braves usually get the lefties pretty good also, so it's going to be a pass for me. But if I had a lean, I would lean the Braves at home. But it's a pretty big number. The numbers pretty much stayed the same, not much movement there, so. It's going to be a pass for me, but I would lean the Braves.
Papi?
Yeah, I almost lean a Miami team total under on that first 5. Just the fact that certain pitchers have certain teams' numbers. This guy Tehran has seen this lineup 150 at bats. This whole team on Miami is hitting a .200. That's a 200 batting average against him. He's given up 1 run to these Miami Marlins in the last 19 innings. So if I can get a plus price maybe and just hope and pray Tehran doesn't walk every single person and actually starts locating some stuff, I think that there's value there to plus price under 1.5 for the first 5 for the Marlins.
He's been dominant, Tehran, against the Marlins this year. 2-0, 0.36 ERA, 22 K, 6 walks in 25 innings. He's been, and Red Girl saying Tehran doesn't lose to Miami. But he looked just so bad last week. Now this is one of those spots where the recency bias is affecting my cap, but I'm going to let it affect my cap. We've already touched on Brewers, Cardinals, so let's move on to this Giants-Cubs spot. You, Darvish, and we have our Giants expert, Nut Plush Allen, in the plane as we speak. Derek Rodriguez, we talked about psychologically why he stepped up in that last start, and that's because they took his job away from him after that spectacular rookie year. He had great numbers in Sacramento. I expected him to get his job back, and that's exactly what he did. But there's no way I'm going to go up against the Cubs at home right now. I think the Cubs go on a run at home. They're 42-19 at home. They're just a dangerous ball club with Darvish looking so good. 7 scoreless last time out against the Phillies. 2.36 ERA since the All-Star break. 57 Ks, 2 walks, and 42 innings since the break. This is a dangerous team at home, a dangerous pitcher on the mound, but they're such big favorites, and I don't know if I want to back them with their bullpen issues as well. Parlay Papi, what do you think of this spot?
I agree on the Derek Rodriguez stuff. He doesn't have the wildest, hardest velocity, but he's got good secondary stuff. And, he did start off the year really well. 5-2 on the road this year after debuting to great appeal last year, right? I don't know if it's a spot to back the Giants. Obviously, it's the Cubs at home. But you know what? I mean, do we expect Darvish to deal at home? I mean, I don't expect Rodriguez to be completely annihilated. I may be taking a look at this first 5 under here, Jimmy.
First 5 under. Let's see what the market moves have been in this spot here with the Cubbies. Where is it? There we go. Oh, sorry, that's first half. We're going to full game money lines and totals here with this Cubbies Giants spot. Opened at 9. It was juiced to the over. It's now juiced to the under. And the Cubbies were taking money all morning and all through last night, like a 50-cent line move towards them. Donnie, right side, do you see an angle here?
It's crazy, man. The more I look at it, when you take a look at Darvish's numbers, how hot he's been, Rodriguez hasn't been bad. Small sample size over the past 2 months, but he has been handling his business. I like the lineup that the Cubs are going to run out tonight, but if we're looking at a 9, the one thing that we look at Wrigley when you're looking at over-unders right away is where's that wind blowing in? It's not howling in, but it is blowing in. I think Darvish will keep that lineup down for San Francisco. Has one of those games, that 4-2, 4-1 type feel, honestly, which is ridiculous at Wrigley, but I'll lean towards the under 9 in this one. I think both pitchers will be all right. I think Chicago will score enough runs. If I'm looking from a side perspective, look at that line move, 192 to 242, 225 to 245 out here. Run line doesn't really offer enough for me to jump on the Chicago with value, so I'll leave it on an under there.
I find that interesting. Big Ragoo. Before we get your breakdown, we got Joe and Nisi in the joint, man. Joey do work coming down to Miami. Oh, man, what a treat it is to roll with you, man. We got that play of the day chair. It's going to be going off. I hope you got a play of the day for us. We got to hit you in that play of the day chair in no time. And we're just about to give out the NFL Game Pass very, very soon, giving it out. Ragoo, Giants, Cubs. Can you see an angle here where we can make some cash?
Yeah, I'm on the under in this game for sure. Rodriguez is a solid pitcher. We know the Cubs story at home. I mean, that's a Jekyll and Hyde when they go on the road. So, and Darvish 1-2 his last starts, but like you say, at home he's money at the house. And Derek Rodriguez is a solid pitcher also. So it looks like a good game to hold down some runs. So I'm thinking more like Donnie was saying, like a 4-3 or maybe a 3-2 final. So I'm on the under this one.
And you would prefer full game than first half?
Full game. Yep.
That's interesting. That's very interesting. What do you think of that full game under?
Man, do we trust the Cubs bullpen still?
That's my first thought.
Like, why? Why not just isolate Derek Rodriguez? We think he's going to do good.
Mm-hmm.
We think Darvish is going to do good. Do we think that the Giants are going to blast some balls out of the park? Absolutely not. Not tonight. I think that if I'm going to take a side, I will be doing the first 5. I want nothing to do with these Cubs bullpen, and I think that the Giants bullpen has been a little bit vulnerable in the past 2 weeks. I see some degradation in these metrics. I don't like it too much. So I like this first 5 under if I'm going to take anything here on the Cubs.
First 5 under. What's the weather in Chicago? 80 Fahrenheit, but 7 miles per hour in. That helps. 7 miles per hour in. What do you think, Al?
I hate you, Darvish. I think he's a horrible person. His brother was put in jail for fixing Japanese baseball games. Look it up. It's true. Darvish in 25 games played, if you bet on him every single game, $100, you'd be down $655. The Cubs at home in every game they played plus 11.55 units at home, but the Giants on the road plus 15.17 units Cubs at home. Giants on the road plus 15.17 units. I hate you, Darvish, so much that I will just give money away at this point. Bet the Giants.
Wow. Mally Mal saying Cubs pen horrible. Big Boss, what do you think of this spot?
Hey, you seen the food that they serve at Chicago Stadium? It's nice, bro. Darvish got to perform at home, man. This guy got to prove his spot. And these are the spots when I take Darvish, when he's at home in these little setup games against teams that are, doing a little bad. He has to get the win if he wants to justify the money that he's making over there. So I like Darvish, but after listening to the panel right here, which is a very exquisite, interesting panel here, I'd have to side with Big Ragoo's under on this one. Because even if, just to stay off the side and stay away from the bullpens, I do expect some good play out of the pitching right here. So I would lean with that under.
I'm in, but I'm going to take first 5. I'm going to go first 5, under 5 at minus 105, but I'm in. I'm in. And Rich G saying, Jesus, Al Mac bringing grudges. Hate. No, man. No,
Look
man.
it up. Look it up.
He doesn't like cheaters, man.
I don't like cheaters.
I
just think
cheaters.
that whenever there's value against him, I think you have to be. It's just like boxing or anything. And when someone is a known cheater, when someone who's aligned with fixing, which his brother was, I would look out. I would stay away. No, seriously, look it up.
Rem Mose, he tips 18.5% at restaurants, no matter how bad the service. So there are some good qualities. There are some good qualities of you, Darvish. Are we close to being able to do that? So it said. Give me the list of names. Okay, sweet. Okay, because we're almost done this card right now. We're almost done the card. So why don't we, instead of popping up right now, why don't we finish this card? Because we just have Tigers, Astros, Yankees, A's, and Blue Jays, Dodgers on this card. And you guys know I tripled up on the A's. First 5, full game. Team total over 4.5. This was the spot I had my eye on from last night. I think that the A's bats can get to J.A. Happ. I think that we see this team in the Yankees 39 games over 500, but they're just 10 games over 500 on the road. We know the Coliseum is a tough place to play. We know the Yankees are used to playing in front of big crowds. They're not going to get one. I mean, it'll be more than the A's usually get because the Yankees are in town. But I like this spot, the way Fires has been pitching at home. Russell Gordy says Oakland A's win again. Not applicable says Happ is crap. Donnie RightSide, or out of the words of our whale capper, I'm bullish on these A's. I want them bad. First 5, full game, team total over 4.5. What do you think, Donnie?
Yeah, Yanks are always a dangerous team as we look at it. And J. Happ's not the greatest pitcher. He actually is better on the road than he is at home at this point. But looking at the game last night, I thought that was a pretty good spot for the Yankees. The Yankees ended up getting drilled, coming back. But this game just gets down to Fires. Fires at home, when you look at his starts, if you just sit back and say, you know what can I actually get? What's a worst-case scenario for Fires? 6 innings, 4 earned runs, you're going to be in the game regardless. I completely agree with the A's look in this one, not because I'm down in the Yankees and they can't win, but every time Fires goes out there, it seems just about it's a quality start. You trust him much more than Happ because what do we know about Oakland? They're rolling the right-handers out there. It's going to be a right-handed dominant lineup. I like your look here on the A's.
I like it a lot. And, of course, our Noli knows figuring out the real story here with Almac says, Almac, were you on the wrong side of his brother's throwing games? And that's
No, I was on the wrong side of the Cubs winning the World Series and then found out that his brother was a cheat very soon after the World Series was complete. Look it up. It's true. Go find the articles. His brother went to jail.
Big Ragoo. I'm all over the A's here. Yeah. Are you touching them?
You know what? I take the A's a lot early in the season, first 5. They're a money machine that way. But I'm checking SBR odds website here, and there's a big drop on that line. It went from most everybody's at a plus money 115, 110, and now Pinnacle's got them at minus 122. So I think I'm off of that right now. I'm going to stay with the market.
Yeah, I hear that. For me, with this spot, with the Oakland A's, at least you don't see me. At least the market's moving with me, so you don't see the fear in my eyes
Right.
and my hands
There
start
you go.
shaking. Poppy, what do you think of this spot? I'm all over the A's.
I mean, we don't need to keep breaking it down. Paxton has pitched well only against, since June, sub 500 teams besides the Rays. Yankees 4-8 straight up in their last 12 against Oakland. Yankees 1-7 in their last 8 games when playing on the road against Oakland. I guess it's Oakland for me too over here. Not putting it down, FYI, but I think Oakland's the side.
Yeah, I do too. And I'm comfortable backing them with Hap on the mound. Let's move on to this Dodger spot. It's tricky finding value with the Dodgers. I know they're a juggernaut. I guess, do we just take their team total overs? Is that how we handle them? Like, Big Boss, you know this team inside and out. How are you handling this Buehler situation against a Toronto bullpen that's not strong? Font has looked good opening, but I don't trust him at all. Big Boss, is there an angle here?
You can't fade Buehler at all, especially against a team like Toronto. I don't like these big line games they got out today at all. I mean, it's not a spot really to take the Dodgers. The team total, that's neither here nor there for the Dodgers. Sometimes they can beat people by scoring a lot of points. Sometimes they win in close games. So that's not even a good angle as well, the way I see it. But yeah, stay off the Dodgers today. Look the other way. If you are gonna play them, you might as well play it for the money. Like, there's no other way to play it. Mate and EJV are both saying Dodgers team total over 5.5. I mean, it could happen. You can't never doubt the Dodgers' bats at all. But at the same time, Dodgers win plenty of 4-1, 3-2s, and all that kind of games as well. They win 3-2 games with a 2-run walk-off homer and stuff like that. So, it's a lot. It's too much volatility right there. The numbers just ain't lying. It's just like so many negatives. Like, why even try? I mean, unless you was in a parlay, you was gonna drop the Dodgers in a parlay just to make it look fancy or something, cute or something. And that would be the only reason to jump on this game right here. I can't trust the total. You can't really trust much. More than likely, Buehler's gonna keep the total down some, but then at the same time, the Dodgers could take it over. At the same time, they could. If Buehler keeps them down, and they'll stay down as well too. The Dodgers don't have a problem with playing teams down. Like, if you want to just take the game slow, they'll take it slow with you. But if you want to fire up the bats, they'll fire up the bats as well. So, just too tricky to even touch.
There's our guy Triple K Marine. He came out and hung with us on Sunday night. Triple K Marine taking Blue Jays minus 1.5 at plus 495.
You know what though? It should be a better number, because if you're looking at their money line, it's like plus 330. The minus one line should be like plus 650 or something like that. Blue Jays all day. I'm in Miami, home team. Blue Jays all day. Yeah, late night game. Bo Bichette.
What an honest group of kids these guys are.
Dude, so they're going with a bullpen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Montoya is a very good manager. They do well in these National League games. I don't know. Blue Jays.
Third unit.
I will bet the Blue Jays.
Third unit.
Yeah.
30 unit.
Wow, that's wild.
30 unit.
Wow,
Whole unit?
Donnie RightSide, you see an angle here?
No, I don't. I mean, just looking at that minus 350, and to bring up a good point there, as DJ was talking about, when you're looking at the Dodgers, you like a team that's going to push them. Somebody jumps out 3-1 on the Dodgers, 4-1 on the Dodgers. You know they're coming back strong. But if Buehler keeps that offense down, you get that lazy. You say, I'm going to try to get mine. Solo home runs at that point. I don't see any angle either way, but it's hard not to back the Dodgers just with like team totals going against average pitching.
It's hard not to. It's hard not to take this
below
team
average,
right
to be honest.
Yeah.
What do you think, Poppy?
Well, yeah, I don't know how good these Jays are doing over here. 2-12 interleague record this season, which is about the worst in baseball. But at the same time, this is a bullpen day. Font is going to do some work in the first 2 innings. Maybe we can take a no score in the first, right? If we get a decent price. But here's the thing. This Jays bullpen is terrible right now. In the last 2 weeks, striking out 7 per 9, walking 4 per 9, BIP of 6.68. They're going to get hit. And we know the Dodgers bullpen has been scary since day one. You always grab the end of your seat. You see Jansen going out there with the hair and just doing whatever the fuck he's doing. I can't stand it. Joe Kelly, guy's a creep. And I don't know what to do here. I think the over. We're gonna do the over here. If I'm gonna do anything.
Yeah,
But I think maybe no score in the first, right? That sounds like a good look. Font's been great, you know.
The no score in the first is no doubt a possibility here. So Russell Gordy, we don't usually see Russell Gordy believing in totals. And here he is saying over 8.5, over 8.5, over 8.5.
Dodgers got a good lineup. They got a good lineup in tonight too. It's go time for the
Look
Dodgers.
at those bullpen numbers on the Blue Jays. It's wild right now.
But also look at the runs. Look at the runs that the Blue Jays put up. I don't
That's
care.
what I'm saying.
I don't care if
They can
I'm
get off.
pitching. The Blue Jays will back me. Like they're the real deal. Trust me.
Not shaded by being Canadian, this guy over here.
No, I'm not. But look at on the road, as shitty as they've been, if you look at on the road, they're almost even. If you bet on them every single game, you've lost 0.3 units on the road for the Blue Jays.
They're also
which is-
2-12 in
you're
interleague
picking
record, by
hairs,
the way.
but trust me, they're turning it around. I like this spot with the Blue Jays, and I'm being biased because the hometown team, and I'm in Miami and all that. I'm gonna play the price of admission, and I'm gonna put fun money on the Blue Jays.
Jin Rummy
sure.
says, yeah, Blue Jays plus 332. I have them fair at plus 223. Says it's worth a shot. Good luck. Ragoo, tell us if you think there's an angle in this 5.5 right now. Let me pull it up. This 5.5, if you want it on the Dodgers over 5.5 at minus 109 for them to score 6 runs, which seems possible for sure with this Dodgers team. Ragoo, can you touch on this game, and then can you lead us into this other very unfun game, Tigers-Astros, where we have the biggest favorite we've seen in 18 years?
These are two shit show games here, I think. But anyways, the Toronto angle, I'm trying to look, and I've been listening to you guys talk, and I still can't find anything. But the only thing possibly is a team total over the, what'd you say, 5.5,
5.5.
6?
Yeah. Minus 109.
And you lose that extra bat at home, too, on top of that after you're winning the game. So can they get 6 runs in 8 innings? Absolutely. Will they do it? They're not going to take a chance with my money. I'm off.
I get it. And then, so the way you see Verla, the biggest favorite in 18 years, is just there's no angle with this Tigers-Astros spot?
No interest.
Do any of you guys see an angle in this Tigers-Astros spot?
It's actually pretty funny. Gokster will remember this. Last year at this exact same time when we were in Vegas, the Dodgers beat that record of they were the biggest favorite up until today, and they lost. So I bet if you look and you find those all those numbers in the past 18 years, you'd probably be crazy profitable if you just faded it every single time. I'm not going to personally do it because I don't like the Tigers this year, but it's almost a free play, man. Like. Yeah.
Back to the Dodgers spot. Pink Eye Gene says, look at second half of the season Dodgers team total. Every time they score at least 6 runs the night before, the next game has gone over 6, 100%. He's on the Dodgers team total over 5.5 at minus 115. And man, Pink Eye Gene, our Arizona Diamondbacks expert, and spreading pink eye awareness, dual jobs for Pink Eye Genie, and he nailed that. He nailed that Rockies game, and yet I didn't get the win because of the pitching change, which is so annoying. But great stuff, Pink Eye Genie. I don't know if I'm going to pull the trigger on the Dodgers over 5.5, but it seems like that's the only angle.
Yeah, that's it.
It seems like that's the only angle in this spot. And this is I think there's lots of great spots in this card, so I don't necessarily feel like I need to reach. And Fonts look good off the start. These Dodgers bats are dangerous. The 5.5 is appealing. I'm going to think about it as we move and as we roll through. Canadian Capper says, panel, what ball game do you see lots of scoring? For the overs we have in this, I've got the A's team total over, but we know it's raining right now, Dom, in New York. It's raining. I would be very interested to see how that affects. Yeah. Interesting that it's pouring right now.
Well, it helps you because if you bet the over and the game's postponed, it's a push.
Oh yeah, and also if because of the rain, it gets these starters, especially for the Mets, if we can get Stroman, out of his rhythm or in a spot where he's throwing too many warm up pitches and he doesn't last as long.
Look on the other side of the country, though. I think that the Yankees, Oakland, I think that's the no-brainer on the over.
Yeah, well, I can't wait. I can't wait to see the play of the day stuff. But first, we are going to hand out an NFL Game Pass. We have a randomator a randomator that we're going to show live. So I'm going to tell you all the guys that are up for a NFL Game Pass right now. We have Kimberly McGee, Degenerate, Wham OG, Flipper, Juan Ruiz, Kyle Jack, Dom Rigi, EDS 23, Conadon, Nick Palomo, Deer Slayer Ski, Iceman 1, Dre Machi, Anthony, Lance Schlegel, Evan Taylor, Ant D, Mayor Ant rolling with us right now, T Vang, Nasty Nate, Canadian Capper 72, and G-Man 1972. One of these cappers is going to get an NFL Game Pass. Let's see who it is, Larry.
Hello, guys. Let's randomize this motherfucker.
Let's do some randomizing.
And I'm picking a winner. And the winner is, if I fucking scroll this shit,
G-Man.
G-Man
1972?
That's the one. That's the one. Yeah.
That's G-Man 1972. G-Man 1972 getting to watch every single NFL game all year from the comforts of his own home.
Congratulations, my guy.
G-Man, right there. G-Man. And we have another one to give out Thursday, another one to give out Friday. So we're still handing these out, NFL Game Passes. And we are giving out an SBR Pro membership to our most valuable audience member. And that man is Mr. Dom Ricci. Dom Ricci, an SBR Pro membership. SBR Pro membership. Right there, Dom.
Now that's the over and the under.
Dom, are you making... Dom, are you making any extra moves on this game? Is there anything from the...
I just put a call into my girl, find out what the real weather is.
Find out what the weather is at Citi Field, and then I like that. I like that.
Say the same thing, but again.
We've got to get the inside information on the Citi Field weather, see if it affects the game or not. I'm working on it.
I like it.
Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it.
I like it. SBR, our most valuable audience member, going to Dom Ricci. All right, it is play of the day time. Play of the day time. We're gonna need someone to get this started. What about Joey Work, man? We get Joe Anisi, our guy Joe Anisi, coming in straight out of NYC down from Miami. Our guy Joey Work, guys that we cap with all day long. Now we got to put a face to the name. Here is our guy, Joe Anisi, in the Leche Alo Bookmakers chair with his play of the day. Joey, welcome to Miami. We love having you,
What's
man.
up, guys? So it's pretty funny.
And
Short
the camera's
story
right
I
in
got
front of
going
you.
here.
It's that camera
Short
right there.
little story I have. So I had planned on manscaping my chest hair with my pick of the day, but it was supposed to be the Yankee symbol, but turned into the Met symbol, so we just scratched that out. So disregard that. Hearing that you're on Oakland anyway. But I'm going to go with Cleveland, full game. I like I can't lay that number with Stroman and the Mets, and I don't know. I like the Indians line up much better. They put a lot of lefties in there, and I'm rolling with the Indians.
Full game. Now we have Joe on it. We have Dom on it. We have
Dom. I thought Dom was on the other side. He thought he was getting mad at me. It's all good.
Joe.
That's right.
Joe, you come down to Miami once in a while, right?
I was here about 2 months ago in this hotel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And you're here with us through the whole till Sunday.
I'm here till Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll do it up. We'll do it up live. There he is, Joe Anisi on, and Greatest Ever says my
Big
guy
boss.
from the Bronx. There's Joe Anisi putting in that work. Joey Work putting in that work. There's our first play of the day chair. Brandon Lugo said Citi Field should be okay. Maybe delayed start. Maybe. The game is good to go. Okay, good. That's from our guy Sergio. Speaking of our guy Sergio, we get a play of the day chair for Sergio. Can you roll in there? Here we go. A low bagger, OG low bagger, watches our show every day down, and he's from down here in South Florida. And
things thrown at me.
well, grab the mic and let's welcome Sergio, our guy.
It's an honor for me to be here with all the low baggers. I'm not on the chat, but I listen to you guys religiously, everybody. I'm a big fan of Donnie, too, and Jimmy. But my play, Sergio from Pembroke Pines, the big JETS fan. I grew up walking distance from Citi Field when it was Shea Stadium. I heard everybody on Cleveland.
Uh-oh.
That's an anemic lineup, guys. The Mets, 9th in the league in hitting since the All-Star break. Everybody was feasting on them when they were 27th before the All-Star game. Hometown kid from Long Island, Stroman. He beat the Nats. They beat Atlanta. And those lineups right now are a lot better than Cleveland. I think they're up for it. Citi Field's going to be 30,000 rocking. And I think the 69 and 86 Magic keep going. I think you can lay $1.48, $1.50 with the Mets. If you take the Grom games out, the Mets have only been favored twice in the last 2 years when playing a team with a 550 record or better.
Wow.
And they're favored, and Vegas doesn't give away money. METS tonight, guys, on the money line.
Ooh, I like it.
Yes, sir.
I like it. Our guy Sergio.
Passion is real.
I like it, man. Yeah, that was dope.
I was gonna say it's really valuable when you hear like Dom. He's fully fading his team.
job.
I know personally that's a huge, like with the Leafs and the Raptors and the Jays. When I fade, you should tail. But now he's going with his hometown team, the Mets. So now
Ramon Scott
don't
says,
know.
break it down, Sergio. Big Guy Genie says, damn, now I got a hedge. Sergio getting in these cappers' heads right now. Getting in these cappers'
that's
heads.
a solid play. I like that breakdown. Very good.
Yeah, it was
awesome.
very fun, man. Very fun. So we got Joe and Nisi. We got our guy Sergio. We get an appearance from the big guy Bubba, man. We get an appearance from the big guy Bubba. Okay, morning show tomorrow. Okay, sure, man. I know you had a long trek down here, and we're just working all day trying to make some money to bet with. There's our guy, big guy Bubba. Well, then let's go. Ed Greatest Ever says this guy is onto something. Jimmy, about Sergio, this guy is onto something.
I just have Stroman PTSD, so I can't do it.
No, I hear you, but
syndrome?
but
I like that.
oh, look at Mike. This is so dope. Michael Martinez says, "Holy shit!" Throwing. He says, "There's no and Fluke goes."
And since they went to the Interleague in 1998, it's not the Dodgers, it's not Houston, and it's not the Yankees. Look it up. The number one loss record in Major League Baseball in Italy. Citi Field Mets.
The Mets, yeah. Dom was talking. Dom was talking about that too. Listen to Michael Martinez. Michael Martinez says, so this is after Sergio goes on. He goes, holy shit, throwing the house on the Mets after that absolute ace of a speech. Feel like running through a wall. That's what Michael Martinez says. Sergio
Getting these people's minds, my man.
Sergio's in these people's heads. He's in these people's heads. Oh, I love that so much. All right, so that's those are our plays of the day. We had our guy Ant, Prince of the City, give us some tennis plays, and guys parlayed your stuff and are like having the time of their life off of it.
Like the one I sent to you. The one I sent to you after, I said put a little Wang in it. Wang won straight sets.
That's
Hey, it's a movie reference if anybody knows it.
I love betting Wang. It's great. Or Zhang.
As long as you're not drinking the punch.
That's nice stuff, man. Much love. So Dom, Ant, do we have anything in store for you guys? Are we going to move for more play of the days tomorrow? Tomorrow?
The other games are going off. The one that Mel Kaplan, I said, Air.
Yeah.
The one we said we like the older guy. As of right now, it's rain delay, but he's up what they consider a double break. So he basically just has to win 2 service games and it's over.
Okay, sweet.
So that was our call together.
Yeah, you guys both jumped on that together. I love it. I absolutely love this, man. Beautiful. Okay, so now at this point, we have our plays of the days in, and a lot of man, just so dope to see Sergio and Joe and Nisi live and on camera for all these guys that we cap with all day. To see you guys' faces, so dope, so dope. There's Juan Ruiz says, "What up, Fat Fist? I'm definitely hanging at the Rock tonight." That's where we are going. We're going to the Hard Rock Casino, and tomorrow all afternoon we're going to be over at Gulfstream Park, and that's where our guy Juan Ruiz works. We'll be at Gulfstream on Thursday and Saturday. All right, let's go through our card. And then we're going to go through our plays of the day. But let's go through our card first. Big Boss, what's on your card today?
I'm just back with the Atlanta on the red line, and that's the main one right
That's
there.
the main one, and that's going to be your play of the day, which we will do. Seth will do a play of the day after, but we're going to just run through our whole card. Al Mac, what's your card look like today?
Some small plays on baseball. Baseball drives me completely crazy. I know you guys all love betting baseball, but it just drives me nuts. But I will put some 1% plays on the Rangers. I like the Braves on the run line, and then I'm going to fade Darvish because he's a cheater, and I'm going to bet on Oakland on the money line, and I'm going to bet on the Toronto Blue Jays. But my absolute favorite, like $200 parlay, I said the Nationals were a good look, and then we talked about LAFC in MLS, and LAFC is a minus 250 favorite, which I did not know. So parlay those two.
Well, give that out as your play of the day, because we're going to do that in a second. Give that parlay as your play of the day. This is my card. This is what I'm on right now. My card. Let's get. So I should be 1-0, sitting here 1-0. Also, so far in Miami, I'm 9-6 plus 4.09 units, 4.09 units, 9-6 so far Monday and Tuesday, and I want to keep it rolling. I should be up 1 unit, but of course there was a pitching change in we don't need to dwell on that shit. Okay, this is what I'm on. Royals first 5 -1/2 at plus 103. That was an addition here on the Late Show. I'm on Nationals money line or Nationals -1, but I didn't jump on the first 5. That market move did scare me. I didn't double up there, but I did double up in Boston. But I'll get to that in a second. I'm on the over 9 at -115 Indians Mets. That's it. Over 9 -115. I'm not taking a side there. I doubled up with the Red Sox. I took the -1 on the early show, and then here on the Late Show, I took the first 5 -0.5, and I locked that in right there. Then Brewers Cardinals, I'm off. Giants Cubs was an addition on this Late Show. First 5 under 5 at -105. And then, as you guys know, I tripled up on those A's, and I did not make a move on the team total over 5.5 with the Dodgers, but I mean, they keep hanging up. They have these crooked numbers in so many innings that it may be something I jump on at some point, but I have not done that yet. Parlay Papi, what's your card?
All right, we're going to go to the handicap part of MLB, the Kansas City and Baltimore game. We're going to do Kansas City first 5 -125. We're going to go straight over to the Dodgers. I'm adding this play. No score in the first. I'm not sure what that line's going to be, but I'm going to ride with it because it probably is pretty enticing. And also, we had one more. We're going to go St. Louis on the first 5 -120.
St. Louis first 5 -120. Yeah, no, I get it. Donnie, RightSide, our guy. What's your card look like today?
Yeah, 2 plays, and I'll save one for the play of the day. But I actually think it's a decent look, and somebody brought it up in the chat box a little bit earlier. The Indians over only at 4 at -112, 6 left-handed batters. I like the Indians, majority day to day because they got that chameleon lineup. So many switch hitters in there, and if you're going to be 6 out of the 8, I'll take the 4 in that. I mean, I don't know about the game long term, but I think they can get the 4 runs worst case scenario in this one.
And that will help my over at 9 right now. RKE 404 says, are you going to be on the keg tonight? Yeah. Well, we're going to go down into the pool and do some drinking. And down there, we're going to pull it up. So we're going to jump on the sports keg as a big group here. Big Ragoo, my guy. Big Ragoo, what's your card look like tonight?
All right. We're looking at the first play I got is the Nats game over 9. I got Stroman going against him, first 5, and then St. Louis on the 1.5 run line, the Cardinals.
That's our guy, Big Ragoo's 3 plays. Man, just looking down at you guys, like I'm not going to be able to wipe the smile off my face, man. This is just like what we have always been dreaming about doing with this show. All right, play of the day time, play of the day. We saw Joey Works play of the day. We saw Sergio's play of the day that really got in people's heads. Sergio, you really got in people's heads with your play of the day. All right, we're going to go down the line. Play of the day time. DJ Big Boss, your play of the day.
We already talked about the Braves, but then we also got the Nats today. I like the Nats on the money line.
I like that spot too. And our guy Cody AV representing Van City says Big Ragoo is an OG. That's what he says, and there's no doubt about that.
He knows what he's talking about.
There's no doubt about that. We got an OG. We got original gangster down there.
Original gooch.
Yeah, man. All right, Al Mac, play of the day.
I'm piggybacking on his play, Nationals, and I'm throwing in LAFC, who are the class of the MLS, parlay plus 1.136.
And you, on your very first show on Betting with the Bag, you did fade LAFC with the Galaxy at plus 365 and cash that.
I will do it again, straight up. LA Galaxy is just, in my opinion, slightly better, but LAFC tonight, wonderful. Let's go.
I like it. I'm going to take a second longer because I'm deciding between 2 spots right now. So, Parlay Papi, your play of the day.
Yeah, I'm going to take Wainwright here at home on the first 5. That's St. Louis on the first 5 innings. That's going to be minus 120.
Minus 120 there. Donnie, right side, your play of the day.
We'll keep it simple. We're going to fade my hometown team tonight. I mean, why not? It should work tonight. And if they come up big and Smiley wins, then he does. But the first 5 just looks too appetizing. I'm going to take the Red Sox run line minus a half run tonight. They should be able to hit Smiley. They'll get it done.
That's one of the 2 games I'm trying to decide between right now. So I like that look very much. Big Ragoo, you got 3 plays. People like them. What's your favorite spot on this card?
I'm getting back on the doubling down with the cards. I'm taking cards full game money line.
Cards full game money line. Our guy Levi Kressler coming in saying Donnie right side says Indians team total. That means you bang Indians team total. Damn it! That's what Levi Kressler is saying. I like that. I like that, man. You know, I think that I have a slight. So I'm 2-0 plus 3.06 units on my 2 plays of the day so far, Monday, Tuesday, and I'd like to go.
Do it, Jimmy. Do it.
Winners, and I think that I think that there's a slightly bigger advantage with the Red Sox going up against Smiley. Slightly bigger advantage than the A's going up. The A's going up against Happ. I think there's a slightly bigger advantage. So I am going to be rolling on the same side as Donnie. And I got a minus 120 line shopping at SBR odds. I'm going to take my play of the day today is Red Sox first 5 minus a half. And that's going with this. What's happening this week is that my play of the day hasn't been coming from the morning card, but it's been coming from all of us breaking down the games together. And I'm fine with that. I don't need to get there. If you guys take me there, who cares? It's all about getting that paper. I don't care if you guys. And there we have Danielle Ragosta saying, "Hey, Dad." Man, isn't that so sweet? Isn't that so sweet, man?
I gave her a big smiley face.
That's so sweet. Big Ragoo, man. Because Big Ragoo to us is family. So seeing, Danielle in the chat is so
Appreciate
sweet.
that.
That's so sweet. All right, man. What a treat it is to roll with you guys. Before we move on, before we move forward, we do have Lucrative Larry chilling in that chair. Lucrative Larry.
Hey.
What's your play today? Lucrative Larry.
I love you all, guys. What a great day it is to have you all here. See you smiling, and see you smiling, Mr. Jimmy's.
Yeah, it
I
feels
love
good.
you, man. Have badminton, mixed world championship. What's so funny about it?
Nothing. You're right. Nothing. Nothing. You got shuttlecock plays?
Excuse me?
See, that's what that's what I was worried about. He doesn't even know what a shuttlecock is. And he's giving us badminton plays.
Wakana Nagahara and Takuro Hoki over Go and Chan. Available at plus 160 at Bovada.
Ooh, a big plus 160.
That's the way I play. That's the way I play. You don't like it?
Liberty
I don't know.
Finder saying nice things. He says, always fade Larry.
What?
So,
What a beautiful thing.
That's not true. That's not true.
Thank you.
Watch for the fixing in badminton, though. It's for real. I'm not even kidding.
You're right. You're
Look
right.
it up. It's real.
Darvin's brother
right.
too.
You're right. These are deep wounds on that.
I'm going back to it.
Look it up.
Atlas Party saying, so Jimmy, tomorrow you guys will be at Gulfstream, not the Dolphins game. No, Gulfstream's daytime. Gulfstream's in between the 2 shows. Gulfstream is daytime. At nighttime, we're going to the Dolphins game. We are also giving out 2 tickets to somebody staying. Well, 1 ticket if they're here solo, 2 tickets if they brought somebody for people who are staying at the hotel. We have that to give out tomorrow. And we have 4 tickets that we're going to be giving out. I believe it's 4. I'll have to double check that. Might be 2 now. Sorry, we have 2. We have 2 for the Dolphins game that we're giving out, and I think 2 for the Marlins game. But we're definitely doing that. And Rich G knows about this shuttlecock fixing right here. He knows all about your badminton with
2018 Olympics. Look it up. Not kidding.
I will. Okay, man, this is like a dream come true for me to be rolling with you guys. Drinking Hand says 60-pound Canadian whiskey is my play today. I like it, Drinking Hand. Where is our big bottle of Canadian Club bought for us by our guy Big Ragoo here? I'm going to hammer this thing. Not Applicable says, Jimmy, kiss that mic like you mean it. Thank you, Not Applicable. You are a good man. Thank you to all you guys here, rolling with us in the audience, man. It just means everything to us. And those of you guys watching, those of you low baggers, if you want to help us, what you can do for us is sign up for the free 50K Pick 6 contest. That link's at the bottom of the page. And also check out our best sportsbook page. If you do those two things for us, that helps us out a lot. And everybody you see up on the panel, we'll all be in the Pick 6 contest and under our name, so you know who we are, and we'll be battling with you. There's Juan Ruiz. We will see him tomorrow. Now, what we need is a leche. We need a leche, and for this leche, we're going to go to a Parlay Papi to put a bow on this show with a leche a los bookmakers. Can you do that for us?
Get a little lead off, a little drum, a little something, a little pump up.
Sure. Here, how about this?
Leches in los bookmakers, cabrón!
Thank you guys so
Peace out.
much. Oh man, that was fun. Okay, so it's what, 6:57?